Hi, and welcome back to the Porta Yoga Shala. In today's lesson, I'm going to be introducing to you a few of the meanings behind the postures that we're so regularly doing in these classes, in a physical class. So on a yoga mat, you've heard of doing the sun salutations, you've gone through the moon sequences. I'm sure that you've done warrior postures at least once or twice. Well, Virabhadra, the name of the posture, it doesn't mean warrior. And this is something that's happened with a lot of the postures in modern society, is that we've nicknamed them. And the nickname might have to do with what the original purpose of the posture was, but it typically has to do with just what the posture looks like. Things like cobra, for instance, or crouching tiger. There's all sorts of fancy names we can give these postures just because our imagination leads us to see them in a certain way. But many of the times, these postures, they have meanings that go way beyond what the physical looks like and appearance that it takes. So I thought today I would put a little mandala up behind me. I got Shiva here sitting ready to learn about Virabhadra. And that's the character of today's story that I'm going to tell you about. So this is Virabhadrasana. This is the warrior stance. Typically you've done it maybe around the middle or the beginning of the practice before you start getting lower down to the mat and the more gentle and expansive poses. And in this warrior sequence, it's a very challenging sequence. The postures are held a little bit longer and there seems to be a lot of variations. The legs might not be moving as much, but the rest of the body, it can take its own form so long as there's certain laws and rules that apply. Well, why does the rest of the body go through its own thing if this posture is just what it is? Well, every movement that the upper body takes has to do with this long story. And in this story, a character, Shiva, he has to create a weapon of destruction, a weapon of vengeance. And he creates a male and a female form, two fierce warriors that go out and they perform this vengeance for him. They seek revenge. And the story is that one of his most beloved devotees, she'd been shamed, she'd been embarrassed, and because of that, she had taken her own life. Now, you can see how immediately this isn't the kind of story that you'd think is coupled with yoga. It doesn't have the rainbows and butterflies and sunshine and unicorns that many people lead you to believe that's what yoga is. It's not. To find this light that we're looking for, to find this goodness and this love that we're looking for, chances are that we've probably hit some lows, that we've gone through some darkness, and we seek the alternative. So, in this story, the woman taking her own life, it's really just the beginning of the story. It's just the impetus that brings forth these other actions, such as Virabhadra and Bhadrakali being created to seek out their revenge, such as the revenge being enacted, and also the rebirth of this soul that was once Shiva's beloved devotee. Of course, she's reborn as Parvati, his consort for all eternity, but that's another story for another time. What this story can bring about is a realization that though the weapon of vengeance did his duty, he acted as he was supposed to, he realized at the end of his actions that it was still a wrong, that it needed to be made right, that in seeking the vengeance, that performing the revenge was just doing so on his own mentality, his own peace of mind, if you will. So he had to make it right. The vengeance was undone. Of course, I'm leaving out many, many details. I hope you'll join me as these details of the stories get really played out in the poses, in the flow, and it's something very, very special to be a part of. But there you have it. A little bit of a story behind one of the main postures. And I don't know how long I've been talking, I don't know how long this video has been, but I know that it's not just one posture. It's not just setting the feet, setting the arms, and taking a few deep breaths. Having this internal realization that, yes, we're going to be put through struggles. Yes, sometimes our mind wants us to react on the emotional basis, but typically when we do react on the emotional basis, these reactions are only enacted upon ourselves in the end. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you can take that with you, and I hope it resonates with you enough to carry it onto a yoga mat, or maybe in just anything in life. If you're not practicing yoga physically yet, which is fine, you're probably practicing in another way. Again, we'll get to that. So thank you so much for joining me in the Purna Yoga Shala. I'm the concrete yogi, not your average yogi, and this is where the physical meets the philosophical. Thank you so much for joining me. Peace. Have a great day.